Talk to me about the finish and how good it felt to go in there finally after 2 cancellations and get a win like that.
It felt amazing because this is actually the 4th time it's been scheduled. And so I've been training for this one since January. So it's been a long time coming. I feel great. When I heard the refs started saying, Hobson, show me something, it's like, all right, I got to keep throwing the elbow over and over again. So I just had to keep with it.
And maybe for people that don't have the understanding you do, can you explain why you kept going to the elbow? What kind of advantage that gives you when compared to like a punch or something like that?
So elbow, the only disadvantage with elbows are they're super close. So you can only use them when you're really close to somebody. But that's the thing is he wanted to grab me and get close. It's like, you're getting right into where I want to be. And these hurt a lot more than anything else, more than knees, more than kicks. Elbows are what breaks your bones. So that's going to do damage, and that's what's going to put you out.
Yeah, and doing that against a Gracie, obviously it's not like you guys had any bad blood or anything, but does it mean a little bit more that you were able to kind of get a win over somebody with that sort of lineage?
Absolutely. Whenever anybody who follows MMA, jiu-jitsu, any kind of combat sport, when you hear the name Gracie, you know what it is. You know the history behind it, and he's a great dude, tough guy. And to be able to have a win over that, when somebody looks at my record, looks at that fight again, it's going to mean a lot more than if it was somebody else.
For sure. And, this is in your backyard. Bellator's camping out here. I don't know exactly what their plans are for next year, but it sounds like they'll be sticking around potentially. You hoping to get another call and to get another opportunity here?
Absolutely. As soon as I can.
ASAP. All right. Appreciate it.
I just want to say I love you, Mom. I didn't get to say that in the cage.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go over to our media joining us virtually tonight. Hang tight, Billy. Hang on one second.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to go to Keith Schillen. Keith, your line is now live. Keith, go ahead.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Billy, congratulations on the victory. Very impressive.
Thank you.
So first question I got to ask you is, you came in this fight coming off 2 losses. Like, how did you keep your confidence to be able to, perform so well tonight?
Well, see, the thing is, if you look at the best people, George St. Pierre, everybody, if you look at all the best MMA fighters in history, very few are undefeated. So seeing a couple losses on a record, it doesn't taint your overall record as much as you think it would. In the moment when you first lose, it's a lot to deal with, especially back to back, because it just feels like you're going down and down. But I knew that during those fights, I wasn't in the greatest mind frame, and I was able to reassess my life and put myself in a position to where I was more prepared and had more focus on what I needed to do for this fight. And the amount of work that I put in and the amount of work that my teammates have put in and the faith that everybody around me has really brings back a lot of my confidence.
Yeah, totally understandable. My last question for you, the thing that really jumped out at me besides the elbows was just your output. I mean, you were on the gas pedal from the very start. And when he started slowing down, it seemed like you were actually picked it up even more. Was that something you saw going in that you think you were just going to have a huge advantage in the cardio and that was your game plan?
Yes, absolutely. When you go into a fight, you can have great knockout power. You can have great jiu-jitsu. You can have great wrestling. If you get tired, that goes out the window. Cardio is the number one thing you need to do anything in a fight. So I knew that I have great cardio. He might have great cardio. Regardless of how good it is, I'm going to push harder than everybody else. And I know you're going to give out first. And once you give out, now I win.
Donna.
Hey, Billy, congratulations on an incredible performance. You looked like you wanted to say something to Big John. You kind of alluded to it earlier. You wanted to say you love your mom. I'd love to give you the floor to do the speech you were planning to give inside in the cage.
Yeah, I appreciate it. A huge thank you to all my coaches and all my teammates who've been training with me. Everything's been so focused on this fight for the past year that it's been a huge sacrifice for a lot of other people to learn something specifically for them, because everything's geared towards a certain person in a certain way. And a lot of it's been for me this past year, and everybody around me has made a sacrifice. My family, my friends, with support and love and not being able to see me as much. And that's huge. And I just wanted to give a shout out to my mom and say, I love you. So,
bro, you're 22 years old. I'm 23. So I understand that socially, this has been a really difficult year for guys our age. Like you don't really get to see your friends so much. You don't get to enjoy. Obviously, you will have just turned old enough to have a drink, and you're not really able to enjoy things like that. How has this year been for you, and does that sort of impact how big this win feels for you?
It's been huge. I normally I don't get to see my family and friends a lot because I work full time and I do this. So my days are I only get a couple hours at night to do anything I want. And on the weekends I have to cook, meal prep, and do laundry and do everything else that I need to do. So it's been, and then with COVID where you get to see people even less, it's been very isolated for a while, and it's been a lot of anger, not so much anger, but a lot of emotions just built up over time, put into the training, the sacrifice, injuries, get more frustrating, and it paid off. So it was worth it.
Two quick ones for me. I'll say them as one so that we're not taking up too much time. You are you still working full time? And is there anybody in particular you are looking at next? Is there anyone on the Bellator roster you're kind of saying, give me this matchup?
I work full time. I work at least 40 hours every week. This week,
Wow.
obviously not because I was in quarantine, but tomorrow I'm going to work for 10 hours. So, but other than that, I want to fight everybody that's ahead of me, anybody that's going to put me a step forward. I want to fight. I don't want to call out anybody specifically right now. I got to talk to my coaches, talk to Bellator, see what they have, see what fights coming up next. But I'm going to get back in and I'm going to fight somebody and I'm going to make it look good.
Connor?
Oh, hey, Billy. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir.
You can't even get tomorrow off?
Nah, I could. I just don't want to use the hours.
Yeah. How much could you feel, Gracie kind of tire, later in that first round into the second?
It's more so just the look. It's hard to feel anything. The pace is your heart's beating so fast. You're not thinking and analyzing everything as much. I don't ever feel his punches. They hurt obviously, but I don't feel when they start getting weaker, I don't feel him, but I can see his demeanor. He's not pushing as much. He's not grabbing me as much. He's not grabbing for my legs as much. He's not shooting. And I know that was a big part of it because I'm pushing him. And a lot of guys have run away from him, trying to get away from his takedowns, but I was ready to go to the ground and I wanted to at some point. So I could see his demeanor start when he didn't push as much and he started backing up more. I was like, all right, I'm going to push even harder.
Yeah. How much confidence do you gain from the fact that he wasn't able to bring it to the ground, where he wanted it?
I was happy. Every time you get ready for a fight, your coach tells you do this, be ready for this, see this, and this is what you want to do in this situation. And then when you can do those things, it feels good. It's like, all right, I can listen to my coach beforehand and go and do it. So it was good to see, like, all right, I'm controlling. We were going down. Every time that we went down, I had control. He didn't pull me in a guard, didn't get close guard, didn't throw up any submissions. Everything that happened, I had control of, and that felt great.
Last one, Luis.
Hi, so you made a relative quick work of him. He tried to take you down and he couldn't. You hurted him with those elbows. Was anything surprising to you of the fight? And does it mean something more for you knowing his family roots that you avoided those takedowns from the betting favorite, Robson Gracie?
It does. I know that it makes me feel better because I know how good he is at jiu-jitsu. But every fight's relatively the same. This one's different because his name, there's more people watching him. So now there's more people watching me. More people saw that performance than if it was somebody else. So that's big for me, and that really means a lot to me. And it's just an honor to fight a Gracie with that last name so well known in this sport. It's just an honor to do that. But regardless, defending his takedown, defending somebody else's takedown, it's good to be able to do what you want in that cage, and it makes you feel good regardless who it is.
All right. Thanks for the time, Billy. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys.